welcome to the Northern Counties East League podcast. I'm Richard Watts. I'm now joined by League General Manager Matt Jones.
Hello and welcome to the official podcast of the Macron Northern Counties East Football League. It's our first podcast of 2026 after a short break for Christmas, followed by a massive disruption to the first 2 weeks of fixtures in the new year caused by the snow and ice. Thankfully, we finally had a full set of fixtures to look back on from the weekend of the 16th and 17th of January, which saw many of our teams playing their first games of 2026. Our review begins under the lights with one game in each division on Friday night. Campion made the perfect start to their trip to Horbury Town. Just 9 minutes in, Ben Gresh Brooksbank struck what proved to be the only goal of the game. A disciplined, professional performance from Campion and a 1-0 win in front of 148 supporters. In Division 1, a bumper crowd of 359 watched Wakefield grind out a hard-earned victory over Brigg Town. It took until the 76th minute for the breakthrough, Ethan Kachosa finishing calmly to seal a tight 1-0 win between two sides with promotion ambitions. Saturday delivered goals everywhere you looked, and nowhere more so than Beverley Town, where manager Dave Ricardo marked his 200th game in charge in style. Despite falling behind to Nathan Cartman's goal on 16 minutes from Albion Sports, Beverley hit back instantly through Andy Norfolk and Macaulay Snellgrove. After the break, they took full control. Lucas Salubrich bagged a brace, including a stoppage time penalty, and Glenn Sarney added another to seal a commanding 5-1 win. Handsworth also impressed at home, beating Eccleshill United 2-0, thanks to Toby Kenyon and a late strike from Harry Jessup. League leaders Liversedge, that's a mouthful, had to work for their points. Barton Town stunned them with a third-minute opener from Lewis Stevens, but Finn Donovan levelled before the break and Jack Stockdale completed the turnaround early in the second half. A 2-1 win keeps them 8 points clear at the top, with games in hand on their nearest challengers. One of the games of the weekend came at Parkgate, trailing 2-0 to Knaresborough Town at half-time after goals from Jack Lazenby and Ben Gelder. Parkgate roared back. Shay Evans-Booth's penalty started the revival before late goals from Callum Rudd, Luke Bown and Finlay Staniland flipped the match on its head. A stoppage time reply from Sam Leverett added tension, but Parkgate held on for a remarkable 4-3 victory. Penistone Church edged out Thackley 1-0 thanks to Jordan Coddery early in the second half. And Pickering Town also came from behind, recovering from Ross Hanna's opener to beat Rossington Main 3-1, scoring through Suleiman Coulibaly, George Thewlis and Maximilian Bauer. But the biggest scoreline came at Sheffield. Alexander Hardwick hit a superb hat-trick in a 7-1 demolition of Wombwell Town. Luke Mangum, Harrison Poulter, Cameron Bedford and Nathan Whitehead all joined the party as Sheffield overturned an early goal from Mohsen Hassan Mohammed. Tadcaster Albion rounded off the Premier Division action with a 2-1 win over Bottisford Town. Spencer Harris and Oliver Green scoring either side of Alex Render's equaliser. Division 1 also had its own share of goals and drama. Appleby Frodingham were emphatic, beating Athersley Recreation 4-0, with goals from Christoph Jaros, Ben Kirk, Kyle Simpson and Nathan Jarman. Goole edged a narrow 1-0 win at Crowell Colts thanks to Sonny Bennett's first half strike. Doncaster City and Harrogate Railway Athletics served up a 7-goal thriller. Doncaster raced into a 2-goal lead through Michael Jones and an own goal from Ben Parks, but Harrogate hit back through Bradley Walker, Ben Parks hitting the goal at the right end, and Harry Lynn. Doncaster weren't done though. Late goals from Sam Giles and Xavier Elkin-Shepherd sealed a dramatic 4-3 victory. Durnan District extended their lead at the top to 12 points, with a strong 3-1 win at bottom of the table Glasshouse Welfare. Justin Circuit, Adam Baskerville and Owen Fieldsend all on target. South Leeds also came from behind, overturning Callan Parker Wells' early goal to beat Ilkley Town 3-1. A brace from Isaac Aqua and a late strike from Nicholas Larousis did the damage. Armthorpe Welfare earned a valuable 3-2 win at Leeds UFCA. Thomas Joint scored from the spot, Bailey Lowe added another and Harry Shepherd struck in stoppage time. Leeds hit back through Toby Stennett and Mason Hatfield, but Armthorpe held firm to go home with the points. Nostell Miners Welfare continued their battle to move away from the lower reaches of the table with a 2-0 win at Maltby Main. Early goals from Cooper Hall and Joseph Taylor proving enough. Route 1 Rovers recorded a 4-1 win over Louth Town with Reece Thompson scoring twice and further goals from Bubakari Conte Samate and Zach Khan. And what a moment for Khan, that was his 50th goal of the season. And to put that record into context, his nearest challenger, Jamie Austin of Dearne, has found the net 27 times so far. Zach is now just 23 behind Ashflynn's league record of 73 goals in a single season, and there's still 17 league games and a League Cup semi-final to come. Elliot Broughton grabbed a late consolation in that game for Louth. Selby Town were comfortable 3-0 winners over Winterton Rangers. Harry Clapham scored twice, including a late penalty, before Charlie Birdsall added a stoppage time third. And the weekend wrapped up with Clubthorne Colliery's 2-1 win at Worsborough Bridge Athletic. Jacob Robinson opened the scoring, Luke Williams struck in the 90th minute, and although Lloyd Smith still had time to pull one back, it came too late to change the outcome. A full programme, a full weekend, and a reminder of just how unpredictable, competitive and entertaining the league can be. Let's have a look at the current streaks. In the Premier Division, 4 teams have won 4 games in a row. That's Beverley Town, Liversedge, Parkgate and Sheffield, while Liversedge have still only been beaten once in the league, and that was at Handsworth way back on the 6th of August. That's 22 games unbeaten now for the leaders. Bottom of the table, Wombwell Town haven't won since the 9th of September. That's 17 games without a victory for them. In Division 1, Dearne District have recorded 5 straight wins, while Wakefield are 11 games without defeat. And at the other end of the table, Glasshoughton have suffered 6 straight defeats in a run of 16 games without a win dating back to September. In that run of 16 matches, they've picked up just the 1 point. It's looking bleak for the founder members of the league, as they currently have just 9 points in total from 28 matches and are 15 points from safety with 14 games left to play. Since the turn of the year, we've been working alongside Stadium Power, and that's the company that's responsible for ground grading in the National League system, to ground grade at the stadiums of the teams that have applied for promotion from the regional feeder leagues into the Northern Counties East League for next season. Clubs had until the 31st of December to apply, and as part of that process, they get an initial assessment of their grounds with a revisit before 31st of March to check on the progress. To be eligible for promotion, clubs must finish in the top 5 of their current league and reach the required ground grade by the deadline. It's worth noting that only 1 club can be promoted from each feeder league, so if more than 1 team applies, the place will go to the team that finishes highest in the league that also has a suitably graded ground. Across the country, there have been 123 applications, with potentially 11 or 12 of those that could be placed into our league. From the Central Midlands League, there's actually 5 applicants that could come our way, with Burngreave United, Dinnington Town, Elite AFC, Harworth Colliery and Kinsley Boys. From the Humber Premier, we've got LIV or Live FC. There's 2 applicants from the Lincolnshire League, Immingham Town and Nettleham, although Nettleham could potentially go in the UCL as well. Those 2 teams have also got to play each other twice this season, yet in 2 games that could decide who wins the league. The Sheffield and Hallam County Senior League, there's 2 applicants again, Hemsworth Miners Welfare and Dennerby Main. And from the West Yorkshire League, we've got Field Olympic. Coupled with this, we've received a couple of lateral move requests from teams that would like to move into our league. And there's also the position of the reformed FC Farsley for the FA to consider. Once again, spaces in our league will be at a premium, and it's a healthy position for us to be in. On to the coming weekend, we have 1 game on Friday night between South Leeds and Route 1 Rovers. And on Saturday, we have 10 games scheduled in each division, which means that, weather permitting, all 42 of our teams will be in action over the 2 days. Thank you to everybody for listening to the podcast and for the fantastic support you give our teams.
So I've got Riley with me from Liversedge. You do all the PA stuff, don't you?
Yeah, mate.
You made a real good job, and you've got a good playlist there. So we've got you for 6 of the best. So we're going to ask 6 quick questions, to Riley about the Northern Counties East League. So, what was your first Northern Counties game?
Well, it was this season, Sheffield at home. For Liverpool, that was my first counties game.
That was your first Counties game. That was a good one too. So, apart from your own ground, because I know you travel, what's your favourite other Northern Counties ground, Northern Counties East League?
I'd have to say Sheffield's.
Sheffield FC, that's a good one. That's one of mine. I like it, but we never win there. And then, what's your favourite go-to food at Northern Counties games?
Chips and curry sauce.
Chips and curry sauce. Last away game ground you visited?
Wherever Liverpool plays next, I can't remember.
Don't matter if you can't remember. And what's the best game you've been to? Or best game you've seen?
Probably have to say today's game, Liverpool-Barton.
Yeah.
Both sides got to put up a good fight.
Yeah. It was a good game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Game. And do you prefer a midweek game or a Saturday game?
Got to be a Saturday game.
Just, yeah. Well done, traditionalist. Well, Riley, thank you very much for that, and keep up the good work. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Blast from the past, looking at the 1991 season, Premier Division top 5, first Guiseley, second North Shields, third Spennymoor United, fourth North Ferriby United, fifth Brigtown, bottom 3, bottom Pontefract Collieries, second bottom Dennerby United, third bottom Ossett Albion. Looking at Division 1, top 3, first Sheffield, second Hallam, third Liversidge, bottom Mexborough Town. League Cup winners Guiseley. FA Cup, Spennymoor United reached the first round, and in the FA Vars, Guiseley were the competition winners.
Right, good evening everyone. We're back. The podcast is back after a 5-week break. So a happy belated New Year to our listener, for who I always say we do the podcast for. And tonight we have Si and we have Richard. Good evening, guys.
Evening.
Hello.
Hello there. So we have been off for 5 weeks, but we're going to start with our recap from last Friday, because a lot of matches, well, the reason we've not been on for 5 weeks is there's been a lot of matches postponed with the weather, frozen pitches, etc. But last week there was a better weather, so it was just about a full fixture list was played. And we start off with Friday night on the 16th of January, and there were 2 games that night. One in the Premier League, and it was Horbury 0, Campion 1. Now, we haven't got Jordan tonight. He's unavailable. But Campion got the winner in the 9th minute through Ben Brooksbank. And that was it. The only goal of the game. So it was 3 points to Campion. 148 crowd. So I can't give you much detail with Jordan not being here. But in Division 1, we had Wakefield versus Brig. So we've got Si. So we'll go over to our Wakefield commentator and supporter, Si.
Yeah, this was an absolutely fantastic match. Probably for us and for the Brig fans who were there as well, we say it was one of the best games we've seen this season. 2 equally matched sides just going at it for the full game with 2 different styles. We're a bit more possession based and move progressively. Brig are quite direct. We had equal amount of chances. We had more possession at the end of the day, but a solitary goal won the game. I think before that, both keepers had kept their sides in the game. 0-0 would not have been a vastly unfair result, but we got the goal 15 minutes before full time, so left it late again. Ethan Kachosa is credited on the NCEL website with the goal, but there is a bit of discussion as whether our striker Akil Francis got the final touch. Ethan's sort of like on the left flank through a cross comes shot into the far post from his side of the pitch, and the club's credited Akil with it, but it's gone down with Ethan on the website, so there is still open debate as to who actually got the final touch. And then once we got the goal, Brig really came back at us very hard, and our keeper kept us in it with a couple of great saves towards the end of the match. Great blood and thunder match. Credit to Josh Batty, who got a nasty cut on his head early in the game, got sort of bandaged up, looking like the Invisible Man. He had that sort of the head and round the neck, in around the chin with the bandages and stuff to keep it in place. Battled on well throughout the game, and I think they were unlucky not to score, and we were probably unlucky not to score more than one. But yeah, you couldn't wish for a better advert for NCL football than that one.
I was
So
just
it
looking at the
sounds like
Brig lineup, and I was just thinking, what a strong lineup they've got. There's a lot of ex-Grimsby Borough players in there who sort of like stormed the league a few years ago. What a good side they look. So that's a heck of a good result for Wakefield, that I would say.
I think
yeah,
we've got a
good.
much better side as well. I think it's both. You know, I think both side teams have really added to the lineup recently. Yeah, I think Jack Varley is another. I don't know if he was one of the ones that was you were thinking of there, Rich, but he was another good player, number 11.
Just come from Lincoln United, hasn't he? He's yeah, cracking player.
He was notable in the game, and as I say, that keeper had a blinder, as both did. It was a real surprise. It ended as only one goal in the game.
Very good. But as I think I've said before, Brig had a slow start, but after a few weeks, they really got into game. They've climbed the league well as Brig. They're having a good season, so it was a good result for Wakefield to beat them 1-0. But a
They'd
good
won the
crowd.
last eight. They'd won the last 8 in a row at Brig
Oh,
before that
oh,
one, so they were
oh,
really the form team going into that match.
no, right, I
Uh,
didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah, really strong. But yeah, good crowd, 359.
Yeah. Has the crowd, since you've gone up to Pontefract, the crowd's increased, do you think, or about the same?
It's increased for the past few games since we've moved there. I think people have started sort of like to come back a bit more. I think maybe, I don't know if there was initial sort of drop off because of the move or just because it was that time of year. You never know. And it depends on obviously how you're doing in the league and who you're playing against. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Brig bring numbers, so naturally they were going to
Mhm.
be a large crowd. And I think the last large one that we had before that was Athersley, and they're quite local to us, so they're always going to bring some numbers. So it depends who you're playing, really.
Yeah, yeah. That's very true. That's very true. And you play Friday night as well. Have you
A
played a
lot, yeah.
Saturday?
I know. I think we've only had once. We've either had one or none on Saturdays yet. We have got a couple coming up, but obviously with us moving ground to Pontefract, who already had their fixtures in place, I think there's just been a clash with sort of like the Saturdays, so we couldn't obviously both be playing at home on a Saturday. So we've naturally taken the option if you know, as long as the
Yeah,
opponents agree to move
yeah.
to the Friday. I think there's one with Worsborough coming up where we've moved it to the Tuesday after instead.
Right, right, yeah. Well, fair enough. Moving on to Saturday. But before I move on to Saturday, apologies to Aaron. I didn't say that Aaron's not with us tonight because he's working. So if the listener was worried where Aaron was, he's working tonight. So
He's
I'll
not been
relay
cancelled.
it. You know, he's not being cancelled though. We ain't got rid of him yet. Richard hasn't sacked him yet, so no, he's working tonight. He's Aaron. I suppose somebody's got to work, haven't they, to keep the country going. Right, moving on to the Saturday then. Top of the shop was Beverley 5, Albion 1. So a good win for Beverley there. Andrew Norfolk, Macaulay, Snellgrove, Luca, Sulaburic, and Glenn Saini for 5 goals, 2-1 up at half time. So a very good win for Beverley 5-1. Handsworth 2, Ecclesville 0. And then we go to Barton away. They played the league leaders, Liversedge. How did it go, Richard?
It's probably the toughest game you can get all season, and it was a good game. And Barton started absolutely superb. Got a goal in the 3rd minute. Good ball in from the left. Tom Warby did well to get on the end of it, hit the bar, and Lewis Stevens tapped in the rebound. And Barton were well on top, really, the first 20 minutes. But then Liverpool got into the stride, and I mean, they look you can see why they're 22 games unbeaten. They look a really good side. No, nobody's going to stop them winning the league. They equalised just nicely before half time. Finn Donovan putting from the right, hit a really good shot. And then Barton really close just before half time to go back in front. Tom Warby header that just missed the far post. Second half, it was pretty much all Liverpool. Barton were hanging on a bit, and Liverpool got the second goal. Jack Stockdale, I thought was absolutely magnificent. Plays at centre half, but almost covered every blade of grass on the pitch, and he started a move from his own half. Kept going forward, cross came in, and he knocked it in for what proved to be the winning goal. Barton threw everything at Liverpool in the last few minutes, but couldn't find that equaliser. But good performance. But I mean, Liverpool, I can't see anybody stopping them. They were very impressive.
They're definitely the front runners, aren't they, for the league?
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Right, then before we go on, next game, Parkgate, a 7-goal thriller at Parkgate against Knaresborough. Knaresborough were 2-0 up at half-time, but then Parkgate hit back, 4 goals in the second half, and then Knaresborough got one in the 90th minute, making it 4-3, so the spectators, the 95 spectators got the money's worth for that game. Then moving on to Penistone, beat Thackley 1-0. Jordan Codrulli, is it Codrulli? In the 51st minute, 1-0 to Penistone, good win for them. And then I saw this game, Adam's not with us tonight, but Pickering versus Rossington. Pickering won it 3-1, but I don't know if you guys saw it on the YouTube, but I thought the Rossington, their Pickering keeper, from what I saw, was their man of the match, Luke Jackson. He made loads of saves to keep Rossington out. It was a good win, but Rossington really tested their keeper for most of the match. And then we go on to the Sheffield Wombwell. Well, it was 8 goals, but 7 for Sheffield, 7-1 winners. So I think Wombwell's at the bottom of the league, so it was a tough ask to go to Sheffield. Alexandra Hardwick got a hat-trick. Luke Manigan, Harrison Porter, Cameron Bedford, Nathan Whitehead, the 7 goals for Sheffield. But Woolmore did have the satisfaction of going 1-0 up through Mohsen Mohammed in the 14th minute. Maybe that's what's upset Sheffield. They fought back. Yeah, so a good win for Sheffield and a good crowd. And you see the crowd, 395. So that was probably, I think that's probably the best crowd of the weekend, I think. We'll see as we go down. And then Tadcaster beat Bottisford 2-1, 1-0 at half-time. Bottisford equalised and Oliver Green got the winner in the second half for Tadcaster. Then we move into Division 1. Appleby 4, Athersley 0. 4 different scores for Appleby. 2-0 at half-time and they made it 4-0 at the end. So a good result for Appleby. And then we come to Crewe versus Goole. Crewe Coats versus Goole. Crewe was above us in the league. And we never played at Crewe in a competitive game at Crewe. It was a good game, end-to-end stuff. But Sonny Bennett got the goal in the 22nd minute. It was a free kick from Nathan Perth just outside the area. He put it over the wall. It hit the bar, rebounding out. And Sonny was there to head it in to make it 1-0 to Goole. And it was a tight game. We defended well, which we've not always done this season. We played some nice football, kept it on the ground, some good passing. So the new manager's message from Ewan Healy, our new manager, seems to be getting through to the players. So a good game. So we ran out 1-0 winners. Not often we've had a clean sheet, so that's good. So that was good. So the fans went home happy that night. And then you see this game, lads, guys. Doncaster City 4, Harrogate 3. Now, what a game that was. 2-2 at half-time. Because we played Doncaster City the previous week. We beat them 2-1. And I think Harrogate's second in league. And up to that Saturday, there's only lost one away game all season. And that was the week before at Route 1. But a great game, 4-3. I saw it on the YouTube. 2-2 at half-time. And then Doncaster went ahead with the scoring the winner in the 85th minute through Xavier Elkins Shepherd to make it 4-3. So a really good win for Doncaster, and 114 crowd. So they would enjoy their
Had they
night.
shown encouraging signs when they played you? Because it's a heck of a shock result, that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they seemed all right, but it was a topsy turvy game when they played us. But we got the win in the end. But they must have had a really good turnaround in form because Harrogate's a good team. I mean, Harrogate came to go and played really well. So I would say that's probably the shock result of the day, really. Nothing against Doncaster, but Harrogate, their away form has been splendid this season. You know, it's
Mhm.
it was what you call a pools. Is it a pools breaker or something? When
Yeah.
the old pools.
Yes.
I can't remember the word, but I know it's that. You know, but yeah,
Coupon
pools.
buster.
That's it, pools buster. Yeah, yeah. Right, moving quickly on then. Glasshoughton, who played it's top versus bottom here, and Durham District run out 3-1 winners. 1-0 at half time. Glasshoughton got immediate equaliser through Jamie Simpson, but then they got 2 goals in the 75th minute through Adam Baskerville and the 79th minute versus Owen Fieldsend. So Durham are looking good for promotion, and I think Glasshoughton are looking not so good for being relegated, I think, when you look at the league table, which is because
It's
Glasshoughton have been in the
hard to
league.
see them surviving now, isn't it?
Yeah, they've been in the Division One for many seasons, Glasshoughton, haven't they? I think, to be honest, it would need a bit of a colossal turnaround in form in the next few
Yeah.
weeks, but we'll see, we'll see. Then Ilkley 1, South Leeds 3, so a good win for South Leeds, 1-1 at half time. South Leeds got 2 goals in Isaac Aqua in 67th minute and Nicholas Lucy in 80th minute, 2-1 winners, 3-1 winners at Ilkley was South Leeds. So they had a bit of a turnaround in form just recently. Leeds UFCA lost at home to Armthorpe 3-2. Armthorpe getting the winner through Harry Shepherd in the 90th minute. So it's always a good time to score. A late winner. Maltby 0, Nostell Miners 2. 2-0 at half time through Nostell scored through Cooper Hall and Joseph Taylor in the 41st minute. And then on Route 1 Rovers, they won 4-1. And guess who scored that day?
Yeah.
Zach
Got his,
Cameron. Yeah, yeah. That man's
was his 50th goal, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was his 50th goal. I was trying to say that. Yeah. So it was, but he didn't score to the 85th minute. So he left it late. But his mate, his goal scoring mate, Reece Thompson, he got 2 goals.
Yeah.
So they ran out 4-1 winners. So a good win for Route 1. Then Selby, they had a good win at home, 3-0 against Winterton Rangers. Harry Clapham scored 2. Now, I read about Harry Clapham. Has he scored was it 100 appearances, 100 goals? I think I saw something on their website. But he scored twice on that for that match. So win 3-0, 1-0 at half time. And then the last goal through Charlie Birdsall in the 90th minute. So a good win for Selby. Then Worsborough Bridge 1, Clubthorne 2. Well, that's a good win for Clubthorne, isn't it? Because Worsborough are well up there in the league as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Thorn are in good form as well, though.
Yeah,
They're on quite a good one as well.
yeah. But that's really good. Looking at it, with Durham at the top winning and Worsborough losing and Harrogate losing, it was a good day for Durham on Saturday in their league, wasn't it? Results went their way.
Well, it's a good day for us.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, we're still, we were looking at those thinking, yep, that helps us. With that.
Oh yes, yeah. I was just going to say that. Sorry, you beat me to it. Yeah. Well, it is, isn't it? When you look at it, it's a good result for Durham and Wakefield, you know. But
we were a long
yeah.
way off that sort of discussion a few weeks ago, but you know, we're in that mix now. There's teams behind you that have got games in hand, but we're still we're in that discussion now.
Yeah. It's always good to be in that discussion.
I mean,
Right.
it looks as if that top 5, it's difficult to see any of them missing out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking at it, you can see that like Leeds Uni have got a couple of games in hand on Brig, but having seen how good Brig were, I'd expect them to be pretty consistent for the rest of the season to bring that home. It can be tough for anyone to take that last spot from Brig, I reckon.
Before we look at the league table, we'll just recap Tuesday night's games because there's a few games on Tuesday night. In the Sheffield and Hallamshire Senior Cup quarter-finals, Sheffield was home to Rossington. Rossington run out 2-1 winners, 0-0 at half-time. Myron Gibbons in the 46th minute and Oliver Nowak in the 87th got the winner. So Rossington won out. So a good winning to go to Sheffield and win 2-1. In the West Riding County Cup quarter-finals, it was Knaresborough versus Garforth. It was 0-0, and Knaresborough won 5-3 on penalties. So a good win for Knaresborough, 151 crowd there. And then Route 1 Rovers versus Golcar. And Golcar won 3-1. And blimey, Satcar didn't score. It was Anis Eunice for Route 1. He didn't score that night. He played. It was a pretty strong, full-strength team, it looked like, when I looked at the scoreline, the team lineup. But Golcar ran out 3-1 winners, so a good win for Golcar to go to Route 1 and win 3-1. And then Tadcaster was the last quarter-final, won 1-0 against Harrogate Railway Athletic. Oliver Green scored the winner in the 37th minute, 1-0 to Taddy. And then in Division 1, it was on the night, it was Ilkley 1, Leeds UFCA 4. 3-1 at half-time. Through goals through William Hawking, Omar Sangyang got 2 to make it 3-1. Jack Mason for Ilkley and Tony Tubbiston in the 78th. So 4-1 winners, good win for Leeds, going all the way to Ilkley on a Tuesday night. Right, well, so we'll just have a look at the tables before we do the preview of the matches for the coming next week. So we'll start in the Premier League, as we said. Liversedge, well, they played 24, 59 points. Beverley second, and 26, 51 points. So Liversedge got 2 games in hand, 8 points in front, and a better goal difference by 12. So it's all positive, isn't it, for Liversedge? They've only dropped,
stopping them.
No, when they played 24, when you look at 24 games, 59 points, they've only dropped 13 points all season. So that's brilliant, isn't it, really?
Haven't lost since the 6th of August.
Is that right? 6th of August?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, can you remember who beat them?
Handsworth, I think.
Oh, very good. Well done, Richard. Bonus point. So Beverley second, 26, 51 points. Sheffield third, 25, 49 points. Handsworth fourth, 28, 48 points. Tadcaster, 25, 45 points. Barton Town, just outside the playoffs, 24, 42 points. Campion, 26, 41 points. Parkgate, 27, 41 points in 8th place. Now, if we go to the basement, it's Wombwell, 24, 16 points. Then Rossington, 19th, 23, 21 points. So a 5-point gap between Wombwell and Rossington. Albion, 26, 24 points. Golcar, 24, 24. And Horbury, 5 weeks ago, I think they picked up form since we did our last podcast. I think they was in the bottom 2 then, but now the 16th, 26, 25 points, and Bottisford 28, 29 points. So it's say the bottom 5. There's only a 5-point gap between Wombwell and Rossington, but between Rossington and Horbury is only a 4-point gap. So it's probably tight at the bottom. And then we'll look at Division 1. At the top is Durnan District, played 30, 74 points. Then we've got Size Wakefield, 29, 62 points. So 12 points difference, but Wakefield have got a game in hand. Do you still have to play Durn yet, Si?
Unfortunately not. No, we need other teams to do us favours now.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see how we get on with that one. But yeah, hopefully a couple of teams can do something before the end of the season and help us out.
Right. Harrogate Railway third, 26.59 points. Worsborough 28.58. So that's why Harrogate losing last week and Worsborough losing. It was a good result for Wakefield. Brig fifth, 28.52 points. Leeds UFCA, they've climbed up well. 26.46 points. So there's 6 point difference between the playoff place, but they have 2 games in hand. Clubthorne 26.45, Armthorpe 26.44, and Cruel 27.43. Now, if we go to the basement, we have Glassalton 28, 9 points. Then Nostell 21st, 28, 22 points. So you've got a 13-point gap there, and a difference in goal difference of 26 difference. Glassalton minus 65, so it's and Nostell minus 39. So sorry, Glassalton, it's not looking. You need a really good turn in form with only 14 games to go. Yeah.
I think they were founder members of the league as well, weren't they, Glasshouse?
Yeah. They seem to be in the league a long time, and I can't. If you do finish in 22nd place, I don't think not much chance of a reprieve. I would have thought. I don't know, but you never know with the league shake up at the end of the season, do you? Really?
Yeah.
So. Nottsdale 28-22, Athersley 28-23, Winterton 28-24, South Leeds 27-26, and Appleby 27-28. So let's look at the league tables. So we'll move on to onto this week's matches, and we'll preview them. Let me get to me. Say what Friday night we have. We have a match on Friday night. South Leeds at home to Route 1 Rovers on Friday night. That's the only game in Division 1. No games in the Premier League. Then moving on to Saturday, in the Premier Division, we've got Albion Sports at home to Tadcaster. And then your team, Barton, at home to Partgate. When was the last time you played a home game, Richard? With the
we
weather?
actually played over Christmas against Ottersford at home. But apart from that, it'd been quite a while, and we've got a gap without. No, we've got Corbury coming up, but yeah, we did play over Christmas against Bottersford. But
How did that go?
We haven't played many
Yeah,
recently.
how did that go, Barton Bottersford? Can you remember?
2-0 win for Barton.
It
It was a close, typical sort of derby, but Barton got the job done.
How's your pitch holding up? How's your pitch holding up? I think this rain today, we think there'll be a pitch inspection at Barton, or is it better this season?
It's it's been holding up pretty well, but there's certainly plenty of rain forecast.
There were pitch inspections all over this weekend.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to see. There'll be a lot of it. There's been a lot of water.
Yeah, because was it last season? It was. Didn't you have a problem with a dike that runs outside at field or something? I was trying to clear the dike to help the drainage. Or have I dreamt that up?
Yeah, and there is going to be new drainage done, I think, over the summer.
Oh, good.
So, yeah. Last season, a lot of games postponed last season.
Yeah. Well, I did see the forecast tonight for Saturday. It looks like a dry day for Saturday, but it's the rain tomorrow. So it's all the rain today and tomorrow. It's going to affect pitches. No doubt there will be quite a few pitch inspections on Saturday morning, but we'll keep a look on the website, NCEL website. And moving down, Bottisford at home to Penistone, Eccleshill at home to Beverley Town, Frickley home to Campion, Jordan's Horbury at home to Pickering, Knaresborough at home to Golcar, Rossington at home to Sheffield, Thackley home to Liversedge. That should be a good game. Thackley will give Liversedge on their own pitch a good match, I would imagine. And Wombwell at home to Handsworth. I did see a pitch on Wombwell's somewhere today, and it looked pretty wet at Wombwell today. So
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was like a mini lake at the side of the pitch. It's so that's not good for Wombwell. So no doubt there will be a pitch inspection there.
A quick mention to Rossington. They brought a couple of players in, and one of them is quite. It's quite a rarity. They brought Jonathan Hedge on in goal, and he was capped by England C in the days when there was an England C side. So
Oh, right.
quite unusual to get an England C international turning out.
What's his name? Jonathan? What was his second name?
Jonathan Hedge used to play for Halifax.
Oh, I'll keep an eye out for that then. Oh, that's a good signing then. Yeah, a good signing. Right, and moving on to Division 1. We've got Armthorpe at home to Appleby, Athersley at home to Maltby, Brig at home to Leeds, Clubthorne at home to your team, Si. Will you be going?
Weather permitting, yeah. See how they get on. I'm sure someone said that their under 21s game was off because of a waterlogged pitch. I don't know if they play on the same pitch or not. But if that's the case, it might be a bit iffy. But yeah, we'll wait and see, won't we? But hopefully the game's on. Again, another tough test is that one because, like I said earlier, thought them in good form. I know they won at least the last 4 in the league. And you know they'll wanting someone above them to slip up so they can maybe nick that playoff position if they can. So they'll be fully competitive, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then we've got Cruel Courts at home to Doncaster City. And then we've got the top two, probably match of the day. Durnan District versus Harrogate Railway Athletic. Now, Harrogate, last 2 away games have lost to Route 1 and Doncaster City. That's the only 2 games away they've lost all season. So they'll be desperate to not to have the hat-trick of defeats, I would imagine. But look at all the other teams are looking at it, I would imagine you probably want Durham District to win that one, would you? Have you got any views on that side?
No, I want Harrogate to win that one, then beat Harrogate on Tuesday when we play Harrogate. That's the ideal scenario for us. Ideally, mathematically, there is still a chance of winning this. We're not giving up on that until Durham are out of sight. So yeah, we'd need Harrogate to win that one. And then we need to beat Harrogate on Tuesday as well. Now that I've said that, obviously the 2 matches will probably go the opposite way around, and I've jinxed it. But that'd be the ideal situation for us. But football's a funny game, innit? You never know what's going to happen.
No, you certainly after if Doncaster can beat Harrogate last week, you can't predict anything really. It's yeah. And then we're home to Selby Town. Now, when we went to Selby on a Tuesday evening in September, Selby had they had the biggest crowd of the season, and the league's in Division 1 the biggest crowd of the season, 565. So that was a great crowd for Selby. And we have a history of Gould and Selby football. I think when Selby opened their ground, I think Gould was the first visitors back in 19-something in the back when TV, they wouldn't even tell me, it was 1923, I think it was, 24. So always a local rivalry. And we haven't played Selby at Gould in a competitive match. We have played in the Eric Lawton Cup in a competitive match since the 2004-05 season. So hopefully we'll get a good crowd. What we want at Gould with limited cover, just the 2 50-seater stands, is a dry day. When we're at home, we're all down thinking, fingers crossed it's going to be a dry day. And if the sun comes out, even better. But we can't guarantee that. So that'll be a good match. And on that day, I'm just going to make a plug. I've invited our local Gould Cancer Support and Social Group to come that day because I invited them because I thought they do wonderful things for people suffering with cancer and carers. I thought we're a good crowd, might raise a bit of money to help them throughout the year. So if you're coming on Saturday, give generously, cash donations only. Thank you. That's the PR. That's the public announcement over. Moving on. Louth at home to Glasshouten, Nosto Miners at home to Ilkley, and Winterton Rangers at home to Worsborough Bridge Athletic. Now we'll just move on quickly on to Tuesday nights games next week. Then in NCEL League Cup quarterfinals, we've got Frickley at home to Liversedge. In the Premier Division, we've got Galca at home to Rossington, Adams Rossington, Tadcaster at home to your Barton Town on a Tuesday night. You're going to Tadcaster, Richard?
Yeah, and it's a big game in the race for the playoffs. As the table stands at the moment, they're
Yeah,
3 points ahead of us. We've got a game in hand, 5th, 3-6. It may change after Saturday, but yeah, big game in the
yeah,
race for the playoffs.
yeah, definitely. And then we've got Athersley at home to Cruel Coats. And then, as Sias pointed out, we've got Harrogate Railway at home to Wakefield. So that's a big game for Wakefield. Big game for both teams, isn't it, Si?
I think it's a big few days for, particularly for Harrogate, because they're playing first and second. So for Harrogate, I'm not going to say it's make or break because there's a long way to go yet, but a couple of good results for them puts them in great stead for the season. Couple of defeats, and you got a one. That would be a few on the bounce for them, wouldn't it? So yeah, it's a big week for Harrogate, really.
Yeah. So, mind you, hopefully a dry weather and a good crowd that night. See under the Harrogate lights. And then we've got Leeds UFCA at home to Nostell Miners Welfare. Then
The
on Wednesday
Crofton
night.
Derby.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes,
They'll play the same ground.
They do. Yeah, well spotted. Yes, they do, don't they? Yeah. Yeah. So the tenants are playing the landlords, and basically.
Tenants at home to the landlords. So I wonder who gets it. Like, do Nostell have to go to the away changing room in their own ground? It's
Oh, that's a
answers on the
thought.
postcard. If our listener could write in and let us know.
If our listener could let us know, we'd be very grateful for next week. Then we could tell our listener and our other listeners. That'd be good. Yeah, I wonder that's a good point. That could be on the question of sport if it was still on that one. But moving on, Division 1 on the a Wednesday night? Yeah, Doncaster City home to Route 1, Maltby at Main home to Louth, and Worsborough at home to Armthorpe. Right, so before we get close to the end, we'll do the team of the week. Well, I'm going to dive in feet first, yeah, because I'm going to go for Doncaster City. Beat Harrogate. Because I'll say it was a great win for Doncaster. Harrogate, before last Saturday, they only lost one home game, and Doncaster at the low levels of the league, below mid-table. So it was a good win. I think it was 3-2 down, and they came back to win 4-3. So Doncaster City was my team of the week. So Richard, what do you think of your team of the week?
Mine was going to be Doncaster City, so I'm hurriedly looking through the rest of the results.
That's why I got in first.
Me too.
I think I'm going to go for Beverley Town. They're playing so well at the moment, and gave Albion Sports a real drubbing.
Yeah. That's fair enough. And Si, what do you think is your team of the week?
The main candidates have gone, so I'm going to go with South Leeds. 3 points on the road at Ilkley, and because Ilkley are good on their own pitch, especially, and it lifts them sort of out of that drop zone horror at the moment. So yeah, South Leeds, big win for them.
That's it for this edition. If you've got any news for the podcast or you'd like to appear on the podcast, please email ncelpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.